Yes, hello everyone. My name is Kinichi Ghost and you're welcome to yet another interesting section. You see that stunning, beautiful picture you see on social platform is made up due to certain factors. If you want to join me through the journey of Photoshop, let's dive in and see one of those factors that actually determine. Okay, yes, hello guys. You're welcome to yet another interesting section. My name is Kilichi Gostime and you're welcome to today's class. Today we're going to be retouching this beautiful model, and there are two things we're going to learn today. We're going to learn how to create frequency separation, how to dodge and burn, and likewise how to do our color grade. But first of all, let's start off with our frequency separation. We would have to duplicate our layer into two other places. You do that by pressing Command J or Control J on your Windows, Command on Mac, Control on Windows, right? So do that twice, Command J twice, or you right click on the layer properties and you're going to see an option for duplicate layer. Then you hide the first one. After hiding the first one, you go on to the second one and go to Gaussian blur. Gaussian blur, you look for where you have more of the obvious blemishes and details, and make sure it's faded a little, but you can still find some of the details around the model's face. Okay, I think this is fine for me. After doing that, we hit on OK. After we're done with OK, we go back to the first layer. Okay, we can give this one we can give this, you double click inside, you can give this low frequency is shortcut low frequency, and we can give this high frequency. So what this basically means is that the low frequency has more of the colorations and the skin tone and all of those, while the high frequency has the textures. So we uncheck this, right? Yeah, we check this now, bringing back the option, and we go to image. Under image, we go to apply. Under apply, we select low frequency, right? Under low frequency, now we go to subtract. Under subtract, to make our scale, to make our offset 128, and we leave our opacity at 100 so as to make it visible. Then we hit OK. This is the interface you're supposed to have in your Photoshop when you've done those actions. Then we come here and take it back to linear light so as to reveal the image. So after doing that, we go to our mixer brush. We press B on your keyboard, or if you can't find it there, you come to this place where you have an option. Look for mixer brush, click on mixer brush. However, if this is loaded, you click on clean, you check this, you leave it at custom. This is the settings I use. I leave my wet at 30, my low 30, 30, 30. I make all of them even, and I leave this sometimes at 0, or I give it a number, and my angle I leave it at 128, or sometimes depending on what I want to achieve. So having done that, right, the next thing we'd want to do after creating our frequency, so we group this together. You hold shift and click on the both layers and click on Command or Control G to group them. So I give it a name, frequency, right? I give it a name, frequency. I haven't given it that name, so this is where we have our frequency. So I go thereof to start brushing. I hide the first one and zoom in to see my model. I can see her face and I can see the details properly. So because I told you the first one has to do with textures where you have most of the blemishes, the pimples and all of those. So I would remove some of the obvious pimples, right, that is causing a distraction on our face. So I do that by using my patch tool. Use your patch tool and circle around the high frequency, and if it doesn't go off, you go to your low frequency and remove it. So we're doing that, just removing the obvious blemishes. I'll do that very fast because of the purpose of our class. While doing yours, you can take your time to do it, right? You can take your time to do it. Make sure you look for the obvious blemishes. We're doing that. So yeah, we're done.
Now it's now time for us to start. Okay, let's try the most we can to remove this. So we're done. So we'll now start now by blending our image. Now your image is basically made up of three components, if I may say. I don't know if I'm using the exact word, but it's made of, there are three things you need to consider when brushing or when blending. One is your highlight, second is your midtone, and third is your shadows, right? So this is what makes up the structure, or what makes up the full image in general. So I would use colors to actually differentiate that for us, so as to help us understand better. So this what I'm explaining much easier. So Control Shift Command N on Mac, or Control Shift N on Windows to create a blank layer. So I'll do that by using a color to identify what I mean. So where you have more of the obvious lighting area is called your highlights. This is your highlights. Okay, more of the lighting areas, your highlight falls around here, right? And the shadow has to do with the areas that are not as exposed as the highlights. When you have somewhere that is more bright, yeah, some places are a bit shallow, right? Now we use another color to identify our shallow area. So we have this place to be our shallow areas, right? This place to be our shallow areas, this place to be our shallow areas. While your midtone falls in between, is either overly is either in your highlights or is neither in your shadows. What that means is that it falls in between. So highlights has to deal with where the light fell more, or where you have more light concentrated on the image, while shadows has to do with where you have less of the light concentrated on the image, while midtone is in between. So when you're blending, you blend in this accord. You don't switch what is on your highlight to your shadow, and you don't switch what is on your shadow to your highlights, and your midtone likewise. So you try to blend and make your image even, right? Haven't done that, right? Now let's now go to our blending proper. Remember, we use our mixer brush to blend. You press P on your keyboard, or then this is my settings, wet, how thick you want the brush to be, load, how heavy you want it to be, mix, and all of those. I make mine even. So then I start brushing. Now you brush on your low frequency, which is where you have more of the skin tone and all of those. So I hide this. Some people usually sample all layers, some don't, but in this regards, me, I sample all the layers, right? So I sample all the layers and start blending. I go to my low frequency and I start blending. Sorry about that. You click on D to make this the default settings black and white, and you switch to white so as to make your blending show. So you're already blending, so you see what I'm doing. Right, while blending, so let's note something. While blending, you blend your highlights and your shadow, and you blend in accordance of the structure of the face. You see these areas that are not so large as this area. I make the brush fit in. I make the brush tiny so as to fit in the structure of that face. You can use brackets open to make it smaller and bracket close to make it much bigger on your keyboard. So haven't done that, right? Or you right click on your mouse or any of your device to either increase this way or toggle the other way around. So you see, so I'll make this fast, but I trust you're understanding the concept. To blend in accordance to the structure of the face. You come to your highlights, you blend. You come to your shadow areas, you blend where you have and try to make sure that you're not overly changing what the makeup artist has done, so as it's to maintain that originality and uniqueness. So having done that, so we come to the nose, we also make our brush smaller so as to fit our highlight. Brush the highlight area, come here, brush to likewise, highlight brush. We zoom in. I'm zooming in so as to see the structure of the face very well. So while you zoom in, you also control minus to zoom out to see what you're doing, and control plus. You uncheck this to see how it's appearing. Okay, it's coming out fantastic, right? So we continue our brushing. Hello guys, my name is Kelechi Gostan. Please, if you find this video interesting, do well to subscribe to my channel and also recommend this channel to other persons so they can find one or two things to learn from what we're doing here. So haven't done that. So remember, if you want to make your brush bigger, the shortcut is bracket close. I don't really know the name of it, if it's parenthesis or what. Why bracket open is to make it smaller. So right, we blended the face. Right, we've done that. Then we come to the part of her arms, another part of her body. So you blend in accordance to make this faster. You make it smaller. Your brackets open to make smaller, bracket close to make bigger. I hope you don't forget that, right? So let's be fast so that we can go to our dodge and burn. So yeah, we are done. Having done that, we now go to our dodge and burn. Command O to fit the screen. So we do our dodge and burn by coming to this option, right? And we go to multiply. Coming to this option. So having done that, we go to our dodge and burn now. We do that by going to adjustment. Under adjustment, we go to curve. Under curve, we go to multiply. We invert. We go to multiply. We invert by clicking Ctrl or Command I to invert. Then we name this burn. Remember, you dodge your highlight and you burn your shadows. So we also, you either duplicate or you go back to curve, Command J to duplicate. We name this highlight, right? Then we can switch this to screen. So this is what screen looks like, right? So the obvious highlighted area. Then we go to our brush. We reduce the opacity to there about, I leave mine to there about 5, and flow to there about 5 also, or 4 likewise. Now remember, highlight is for the highlighted area, like areas like I told you where you have more of the light, and burn is for the shadows. So burn, we go to our burn, right? We touch our burn. Don't worry, I'll show you the effects it actually gives. We go to our burn and check this. I hope you're seeing some little changes. You try not to make this too obvious so as not to spoil the structure of the face. So we could increase this a little more. You do it to fit in what you want to achieve. So having done that, as our shadow, we come here likewise to bring out the contour on our face. Our lips likewise. Then we go to our highlights. At this part of the face, we have the highlights. We blend it, make it even. We pop this to maybe one the highlights here. We pop it to pop the highlights here. Pop here. We pop here likewise. So that's for our highlights. for our dodge and burn. We named this dodge and burn. Dodge and burn. So haven't done that, you dodge your highlights and you burn your shadows. Highlights is where you have most of it, where you have lights concentrated. Shadows is where you have less light concentrated. So having done that, the next thing we'd want to do is go to our grading. So we would want to make her skin pop a little. We go to vibrant, we tilt it towards the right to make it pop. Yeah, this is fair, but you notice that some of the colors are entering our hair. But yeah, don't be scared, we can actually do away with that, right? So having done that, we go to selective color. We tilt our yellow towards the right a little, towards the left, towards our cyan, and towards the right. So having done that, now we group this together, Command J or Control J. We call this our you click here, we call this our grading. So having done that, right, now we want to remove the colors that is on our hair and some parts and some other areas of our face that is too much. Now you can see this color is overly much, right? So we go to our yellow, our color selection. We bring this back a little. We go to our vibrance. Take this back a little. Take this back a little. So we go further to actually remove this from our hair, right? Remove this from our hair and go to max. Under max, we go to brush. We hide this. After you've checked the brush, after you checked your max, you go to brush. You make sure that this is on black. Then you brush through opacity and our flow. You brush through to remove this from our hair. Move this from our hair. Brush through to remove this from our hair. It's of our body. It's part of our body. So we darken the hair a little by using our curve. We go to curve, slide it down, invert, that's to hide what we've done. Go to brush likewise. Then over this round the brush, reveal it round the brush. Oh, that's too much. Take this up a little, just very small. Take this up a little. Then we come too much. Take it up a little. So I want you to carefully take your time to do this, but however, this is what we've been able to achieve so far from our retouching today. I'll group this together so as for us to see the before and the after. This is our after, and this is our before. After. Okay, I did record something. Yes. So this is what we've gotten for today. This is our before and this is our after. This is our before and this is our after. Thank you guys, and see you some other time.